And so, just like that, the anticipated August matchup for Queensberry versus Matchroom, 5 versus 5, is not going to take place. It's been scratched. I don't know if that means that it's being scratched forever or just temporarily. But there are still plans to work together, but it just won't be the 5 versus 5 promotion like last year that was so successful. And that's unfortunate, because when that first go around took place, each promoter had 5 of their fighters matched against the other in matches that were pretty much going in 50-50. But it turned out to be a clean sweep for Queensberry. So is Matchroom ill prepared for a second go round? Or could there be something more simplistic at the core? Let's talk about the fact that this is not taking place, but what we may get instead. And so, just like that, Matchroom versus Queensberry, 5 versus 5, 2025 is not going to take place. Curious, because I really enjoyed that first go round from last year. It was amazing. However, the second edition of Matchroom Queensberry 5 versus 5 has been put on ice, according to promoter Frank Warren. In an article that was first dropping this information from The Ring, the two biggest promoters in British boxing have been set to pit their stables against each other once again, with plans for the show to take place in August. As reported by Ring 2 months ago, Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn had even submitted their draft list of 10 fighters each, with a view to whittling it down to 5 high-quality bouts to take place on the same card. It is understood that a light heavyweight battle between Queensberry man Anthony Yarde, and Callum Smith, a longtime Matchroom fighter, was one of the potential fights, and that may yet take place this summer. Smith and Yarde are rated at number 3 and number 4, respectively, by The Ring. Now, Warren, the Queensberry boss, has confirmed that it will not take place as part of a 5 versus 5, with plans for that event shelved until further notice. He told The Ring, "There's no 5 versus 5 in August. There will be a show then, but it won't be the 5 versus 5 as had been previously discussed. I didn't know what would be on that card yet, but there's no 5 versus 5 there." Queensberry crushed Matchroom in the first event in June 2024, winning all 5 fights and ending with a score of 10-0, but Hearn will have to wait a little while longer for revenge. And while Yarde may yet take on Smith this summer, Warren also confirmed that the Beast from the East is in the running to face David Benavidez too. With Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev slated to face each other in a trilogy fight, the Mexican monster Benavidez recently revealed that he is hoping to fight either Yarde or Smith in the meantime. Yarde is currently 27-3 with 24 knockouts, as a result of his decision victory over Lyndon Arthur at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, The Ring's Fatal Fury City of Wolves event on April 26. Warren confirmed that he is currently putting plans in place for Yarde's next outing, and it says it could be either Smith or Benavidez in the opposite corner. He added, "Either of those two, we're working on it at the moment, and hopefully we'll be able to announce something soon." My thoughts are this: if they go through with pitting a fight together, whether it be Yarde versus Benavidez or Smith versus Benavidez, maybe the best interest would be to pit one of the Queensberry fighters against Benavidez and have another in reserve for future. I don't believe Benavidez is signed to Queensberry or Matchroom, but it would be interesting if Callum Smith were to get that opportunity against Benavidez, because Benavidez is sort of an email champion at the moment. I know many people don't want to hear that, but that's what he is, because he couldn't wait for Artur and Dmitry to finish their order of business, which would find him fighting for a real title sometime early next year anyway. So no one may be more deserving than Callum Smith. You see, Smith has earned his stripes. That battle that he had where he showed his wares against Joshua Buatsi recently places him in a place where you can look at him as a light heavyweight now and wonder, why hasn't he been campaigning at light heavyweight a bit longer than he has? He looked great against Buatsi, and Buatsi is a young and fresh enough fighter to have been able to challenge Callum in the correct way. And Callum came out with flying colors in that match. His style also may be a perfect foil for Benavidez, who comes straight ahead at you in a single file line, and Callum can work off of that with boxing from distance, boxing from mid-range, and catching Benavidez on angles. The only thing is, will he have the conditioning to hold up in a 12-rounder against the likes of Benavidez, who is far younger? But in boxing today, who knows? I mean, some guys are not too old for their wants to hurt them, And then this David Benavidez is coming for these guys as if, it's Canelo Alvarez running away. No one's running away in the light heavyweight division. It's just that there had been a sense of order prior to his arrival to that division. And he's going to basically have to get in line and wait his turn. Like I said, Dmitry Bivol, Artur Beterbiev have a trilogy that they have to sort out. And Callum Smith should be the next man up to challenge for one of those titles because Benavidez is new in the division. And as far as Yard, with the way that he has kind of hurt his own career with certain business decisions and everything, he still needs to fight a fight or two to make sure that he's okay. Yes, he defeated Lyndon Arthur, but he also knocked Arthur out in their rematch after their first fight. So this fight, though it was a trilogy, he was favored to take care of Arthur again. Arthur did fight better, but he fought better than he fought in the rematch, but he still didn't do enough to be able to win a battle against Anthony Yard, who is a much more talented fighter. So with that being said, Warren and Hearn are still looking off into the distance to see what they can pull together. And I'm certain that at some point that these two men will come up with something. Hearn is on fire because he's been losing some of these matchups, and Warren is on fire because he has some of the hottest guys in the divisions of boxing at this time. So it's going to be amazing whatever they choose to do. But I still got my eye on these guys because promoters are the ones you have to watch the most, sometimes even more than the fighters. But what do you think? This is Stormy B Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know your thoughts about the 5 versus 5 no longer taking place in August, and were you looking forward to that, and do you question who these guys are that they may have put on the list to come together for that matchup? How do you see it shaking out? Do you see Hearn prevailing again? Warren prevailing again? Or do you see Matchroom finally pulling it off? Leave comments and let's discuss further. Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.